They have to be the toughest athletes around.
Well, it was a clash of the big boys, and you can see there the courage is flowing.
Tough game. Tough game.
Engage Super League 13 had belonged to Leeds. Brian McLennan's side had recorded back-to-back titles for the first time in their history.
Sinfield again with a little kick through McGuire!
It was the perfect send-off for Gareth Ellis, playing in his final game for the Rhinos before joining the NRL. Coming the other way in 2009 would be former Australian skipper Danny Badeiras. And he wasn't the only high-profile recruit from down under to arrive in Yorkshire, with Brett Hodgson returning to Huddersfield, the scene of his World Club Challenge defeat with the West Tigers.
I've really enjoyed coming over here and change, and seeing another part of the world and part of the rugby league. So it's been something which I'm blessed to have been given a chance.
Alongside the new faces, two new clubs, Celtic Crusaders and Salford City Reds, both granted a Super League licence.
You give all those trophies back in 2008 and so, well, we'd rather have been in Super League. It's just not a comparison, and being in the elite competition is most important. So we were delighted, and then we went to Jacksonville, got a lot of work done, a little bit of controversy. It was handled internally very, very well. There was action taken, there were disciplines handed out.
Among those disciplined, Malcolm Alker, sensationally stripped of the captaincy, but he would play a key role for the Reds as top-flight rugby league returned to the Willows.
Just get the feeling that both sides just testing each other, not trying anything fancy. That's the first inside ball that we've seen from Salford.
Rob Parker gets to his feet, plays the ball to Malcolm Alker. Good run, great run, good support from Fitzpatrick. There's the pass and a chance here, and Quinn managed to get the tackle in, but Stapleton's over for the first try for the Salford City Reds of 2009. The perfect start for them. Well, here is Jeremy Smith. That's a great ball, and it's Myler over under the sticks. Richard Myler. Such promise, this young man. Only 18 years of age. One of the most exciting talents in the British game.
4, 10!
Nalka waits again underneath the Crusaders' post. Here is Fitzpatrick now. Flicks the pass away. Talau helps it on. And here is a chance for Henry. What a start for Salford. What a start for the Salford City Reds and the life back in Super League.
Malcolm, it's well documented what happened pre-season, that you lost the captaincy, but when it comes down to it, it looks as though you're still putting your heart and soul into this club.
Look, mate, this team's very, very tight, mate. There's been a few critics over the last few weeks about me, but people should reserve judgment until they actually know what's really happened. But them boys on that field, mate, we're very, very tight. We're unbreakable.
He's been outstanding. He's professional and in everything he does. What he's doing at practice and what he's doing on the field is exemplary. So that's what you'd expect of a person that's been around the game this long, and you'd expect of someone that's highly motivated. And he thoroughly deserved that tonight, and I congratulate him.
Salford up and running, but it would be 2 months before their next victory. Leeds, on the other hand, followed up their opening day success over Celtic Crusaders by defeating an injury-ravaged Wakefield, before travelling to Hull KR, where they had to conquer both the Robins and the conditions.
Really is a big match atmosphere here tonight. There are some who are predicting big things for Hodgkinson Rovers this season. The conditions are absolutely dreadful. It's going to be a testing night too for both sides. Here's Diskin. Sinfield running to his right, but it's Bailey on his left who's taken on the challenge of that Hull Kingston Rovers defence. Diskin again. Now Maguire. Oh, look at the gaps! Look at the gaps! And Ablett is over to silence the home crowd. Huge gaps in that Rovers defence. Here's Dobson. A little scampering attempt by him. 3 Leeds defenders hauling him down. Where do they go from here? Not too many tackles with which to play. It's slid in by Cook, and Briscoe will finish. Lovely measure kick by Paul Cook, and Sean Briscoe right on the end. Well, they want to get on with it. They want to keep this momentum going. High and hanging. Down it comes, Senior. Wonderful take. Equally well tackled, but he has got the ball away. He has it away, and it's over by Hall. Ryan Hall sniffing it out.
Move!
And it's a very grumpy face at the moment from the Hull Kingston Rovers coach. Watching this Leeds side rather dominate things just at the moment, and Bailey dominating the Rovers defence. 4 tried to tackle him, none kept hold, and Callum Watkins sliding over much to his delight, and Leeds on course now.
One team rather off course were Warrington.
Let me have a good look round here to see what options are available to him. It's Greenshields who's in support here, and just shrugs off the attempted tackle rather too easily. Key try for Catalan. Here's Muniz, as close as it can be. Now with Boss, throwing it out wide, and Cyril Stackle skirts around. You've got a bit of a clattering in scoring as well, but no doubt about the try. Well, you can hear the disappointment amongst the Warrington supporters, and that disappointment has just got worse, because Bale has somehow scrambled his way over. Warrington fans are disconsolate. Want to play it quickly here. Bale to that left-hand side, and Pello! Dimitri Pello holds off the attempted tackle, and Catalan are making it look very easy against these Warrington Wolves tonight. And the Warrington fans are not happy.
Go, 1.
As Breers with a shot back. Oh my word, doesn't that sum up Warrington's night? Gleeson can't keep hold. James Lowes wonders, where do you go from here?
I'll tell you where they went. They went to Wakefield. But the Wildcats only piled on more misery.
6 tackle. They've only just about reached the halfway line, so they'll be looking for a big boot here if they can. It's Martin who plants it downfield. Oh, it's been allowed to bounce, and it's fumbled, and it might be another try. It is. Halley puts it down. Riley holds his head in his hands. If only he'd done that with a ball. And Jimmy Lowes is getting that sinking feeling again.
The Wakefield one was particularly disappointing. I thought the Catalans game, we had opportunities to actually win that game, but the Wakefield game, we weren't in the races. It was very demoralising, and a very, very low part of the season.
But they weren't the only team slow out of the blocks. Wigan's dismal start, their worst in 24 years, had seen the JJB renamed the JJ Boo. But Brian Noble turned to the youngsters for salvation in debutant Sam Tompkins and winger Sean Ainscough.
Luluai. Lachlan, quick hands by him into Calmont. Calmont just trying to draw the defence, and Ainscough in and out and over. Super finish by the youngster. Very good try. It took some finishing. It's Luluai. Tompkins puts the foot down, a little shake of the hips, half through. Ainscough in support. Oh, that was optimistic, and it's come off. And Calmont now striding for glory. 2 youngsters in harness, and Calmont with a finish. An eye-catcher of a score. Riddell, 8 yards to cover. Well, Lachlan with a kick through. There's a stumble, but not by Ainscough, who's claiming it, and is absolutely certain that he's scored. Second of the night for him, the youngster. Well, he's onside, no doubts about that. And the grounding is looking good. Ainscough has a second.
Sean's a really good player. He's proved that he can score tries all day. I think to go places like that, Harlequins away and get a win, it's a tough ask, but you know, we went well there.
Hull KR were also playing well. Scrum half Michael Dobson securing a point at Bradford with a last-gasp drop goal before booting his side to their first win at Knowsley Road in 23 years, and in the process ending Saints' 19-match unbeaten league run.
Yeah, it was a good start, and Dobson's been key for us all year, and you know, when he comes up with penalties, drop goals and penalties like that, you know, it's a really good feeling, really good player to have in your side.
The drop goal was more of a fluke more than anything. It was more of a hit and hope, and it just went over. And then obviously getting the Saints and knocking them off was a big thrill. But yeah, it was a good start of the year.
Here we go again, the annual attempt to settle Rugby League's ultimate North-South divide. British champions and reigning world champions Leeds against Manly, the best of Australia. Here's Rodney. Well, Shane Rodney has torn the heart out of the Leeds defence. Has support from Heath Lestrange. Donald over to cover, but away it goes to Matai, and Matai will score in the corner. Wonderful Manly try. Super stuff.
You know, the second half we just seemed to capitulate, and they scored some real good tries, but you know, we fought back into the game, and if you know, maybe if the game were 5-10 minutes longer, then it could have been a different story.
Split by Sinfield. Here's Maguire. Now Senior. Shooting away one defender, but he's got more to beat here, but he's showing good pace here. Back into Maguire. Maguire puts the foot down, and Maguire at the corner. A scintillating Leeds try. Really special effort. Leeds fans with something to celebrate finally.
Following Manly's World Club Challenge success, it seemed that Aussies were the flavour of the month. England and former Rhinos coach Tony Smith was appointed the new boss of Warrington, where ironically his first game in charge was against his former club.
We played Leeds at home, and it was a game we probably should have won, at least a draw. Leeds scored in the dying minutes against the run of play, but the performances from the boys was a marked improvement. You know, I thought good times were ahead.
The good times were already returning to Wigan, with Sam Tompkins making his first Super League start in place of Aussie Tim Smith.
It was one of those where Tim just needed a rest on the bench for a week, and I think Tim helped me out a lot while he was over here, and you know, I really appreciate that from him, and it helped having him here to get me in the team.
Go. McLaurin. Quick hands again, and here they come, Hawk with two on the outside. And it will be Carmond who finishes. It's another simple Wigan try, well constructed and well taken. Happy faces for once at the JJB. George Carmond, their third try scorer of the night, and those boos of the other week have been quickly forgotten. Riddell stringing it out, Lulai gets it out, Tompkins now. It's still the sixth tackle, but they're going to run it all the way. What a score! Harrison Hansen with a finish, but it was the debutant Sam Tompkins with the creativity here. And a young scrum half with a step into the line, the short pass. Hansen with a finish. Riddell's anxious to get on with it. Bradford's defenders left on the floor at the moment, and Piggy Riddell is through. And look how many in support. Take your choice, Mark Riddell. And it's going to be Hansen for a second. Sliding in. Wigan are playing with so much enthusiasm now.
Elsewhere, Hull went top of the table following their fourth straight success.
There's nobody home, and Yeaman dives in. A tumbling try. Hull in the ascendancy. What a start to the season.
The early birds continued to impress. An away victory at Bradford, maintaining their 100% start.
Oh, what a run! Thurman! Oh, what a great try by Hull!
But 5 out of 5 soon became 5 out of 10 as their season suddenly plummeted.
Onto McGoldrick with a little dummy. Oh, sensational stuff. They all bought it. And Ryan McGoldrick with a splendid try.
I think the last minute win at Hull was a memorable one, especially with Shifty coming back with a drop goal.
Tolan here. It's Sherwin. They rush out, but they can't stop him. And Castleford have won it. What a dramatic finish.
We wanted to start well, and some really tough road trips there as well, you know, to go to Catalans and come away with a tight win, and to go to Hull as well, where we haven't had any success for quite a while, and to come away with a win. And we had a close loss here against Huddersfield. You know, fantastic game. We just come on the wrong end of the scoreline.
This is a great kick from Kevin Brown looking for David Hodgson. It's a wonderful kick from Kevin Brown.
They'll be buoyed by this, will the Giants? Nathan Bryan will be he'll be feeling is a lot better than his opposite, Terry Matterson.
It's Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown gives it to Brett Hodgson. Hodgson to David Hodgson, who evades the tackle of Dixon. Scores in the corner.
Move!
This is Leroy Cudjoe. And Cudjoe has gone round McGoldrick. Cudjoe! Well, McGoldrick recovered his ground, somehow stopped him. Here come Huddersfield, Cudjoe again. They go wide, and Hodgson is in. Hat-trick. It's a hat-trick for David Hodgson. That's wonderfully skilled and crafted work from Huddersfield.
Good news for Leeds as they faced Wigan. Brent Webb named as a substitute following a 6-month injury absence. And seated alongside him, somewhat surprisingly, was England skipper Jamie Peacock. But it didn't take long for both men to be heavily involved for the rampaging Rhinos.
Here is the first touch from Peacock. Question mark. Was Jamie Peacock named on the bench because he's not 100% fit? We shall see. Kirk. Great run from Kirk. He's broken through the first line of defence. The ball comes to Donald. He waited for that. Got the ball inside to Sinfield. Here is Burrow. Try time for the champions. Unbelievable. Jamie Jones-Buchanan, Jamie Peacock, Danny Maguire. Danny Maguire gives it to Lauatiti. Over the top, brilliant, brilliant try from Leeds and Ryan Hall. Sensational from the champions here. Absolutely sensational. Last tackle here, Rob Burrow looks up, left-footed kick looking for Ryan Hall. He's found Ryan Hall, brilliant try. Second try for Ryan Hall.
Leeds were proving irresistible, but next up, a sterner test and a chance for Saints to avenge their 2008 Grand Final defeat. It promised to be a fiery affair, and it didn't disappoint.
Cunningham waits, 10 metres away, fires the pass inside. Released by Kalis to Price, and the ball is stolen by Lee Smith.
Boy, that was a try saver. They had him stacked up out wide on that left-hand side. Lee Smith really has come to the fore on that occasion.
Oh, yes.
Well, Gilmore didn't like being pushed away, and Gilmore has thrown about 5 or 6.
Well, it's not like to say I told you so, but this has been simmering all the way through the match, this.
Well, I'm making the point that there's no love lost between the two sides. Well, at least the official was calm, cool and collected. Who wants to take it up?
Farsavalou will.
Oh, and he's out. He's out. Farsavalou was out as soon as he hit the deck.
So how did he end up in this state? Oh, that's it. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
That's a shoulder. That's a shoulder.
Not the elbow.
Top of the shoulder. How brutal is this game? Back on, it's a scrum.
Well, it was a clash of the big boys, and you can see there the claret is flowing.
Back on. Wait, James, go.
Diskin to Sinfield. Sinfield then to Burgess. He's been brave. He's taken up about 4 times.
Move, James,
while the
over.
temperature has been boiling above 100 degrees. Maguire and Webb and wide to Hall. Brilliant ball. Wonderful try. Cunningham. Graham's on his inside. Gets it to Leon Price. Little gap. Beautiful ball. Wilkins steps out of the challenges. Wellens. Wide to Wheeler. Wonderful. Wonderful St Helens try. Oh, Flannery. Wonderful break. He's got Gidley with him. Gidley. All the way for St Helens. That could win it. Gidley's second.
A tremendous win for Saints, but ahead of their next match at Wakefield, devastation, with the tragic death of Wildcats forward Leon Walker in a reserve team game.
We'd had his hands full with what could have been described as tragedy, and sometimes you think enough's enough, but you can't hide from life, can you?
I felt for them having to sort of put on the playing strip and having to go out there and attempt to play, and they did make a valiant effort, but I don't think the St Helens team really wanted to play either.
We weren't sure whether the game was going to go ahead and stuff like that, and it was just really a tribute to Leon, really. We tried to put on a show for him because, it was the game he loved.
I've never been to any ground when we walked out with Donna and Steve onto the pitch, and the silence and the respect after a massive round of applause were quite spectacular.
Wait, on the line!
Obst once more will find Brough, and Brough will give it to Atkins, and Atkins will take them on. Great pass on the inside. Blaymire, brilliant. Aaron Murphy, fantastic try from Wakefield now. Absolutely fantastic try.
The traditional Easter encounter between Wigan and Saints had added significance for one local lad. The departure of Richie Mathers to Warrington Wolves had paved the way for classy centre Martin Gleeson's arrival at the JJB, and a quick-fire debut against the team he originally made his name with almost a decade earlier.
Gleeson going for the line. He's got it down. Oh, tremendous sidestepping run from the youngster. The Wigan-born lad against his hometown team, Martin Gleeson.
Wigan playing the game at pace with Coley. Bounces off the challenge of Ashurst. Tries to go through Graham and Clough and Hargreaves. Will play the ball. They are the St Helens posts. On the bounce it finds Lula White. Little kick in for Ainscow. Try for Wigan. Great start for Wigan. Great try for Sean Ainscow. His 7th try in as many Super League games. Cunningham, short ball, and Clough will drive the ball forward. So close, St Helens. Cunningham, he's over the line, he's got it down, has he? I think Cunningham has got it down.
He'll go to the screen on this one. There was too many players around him. But Cunningham, he's convinced that he's got the ball down in the in-goal area.
It was Cunningham's mistake out there that threw the ball wide to nobody. And has Cunningham repaid the faith? He certainly has.
Move, Paul!
McIlaurin at dummy half. It comes back to Tompkins. Tompkins will give it to Gleeson. And Leon Price was alert to the danger. Now McIlaurin again. He finds Tompkins. Tompkins, who not the best pass to Luluwai, did well. That's Phelps forward. They're in though. Roby goes away from Fielden, and here is Gidley, and Gidley gets over for the try. St Helens respond. Graham goes down on tackle number 4. Here goes Cunningham. Destructive runner, isn't he, Kieran Cunningham?
The mere fact he comes off the bench, Eddie, and he's out on that paddock, lifts Saints all the time.
High kick here from Wilkin. The cavalry charge is on. Oh, Leon Price! I think that came off a Wigan hand.
It did.
This try is given.
It's a gift.
It was a fantastic kick from Wilkin. It almost had snow on it. Back they come to Eastman, a drop goal attempt from Kyle Eastman. It's a drop goal attempt from Eastman, and he's kicked it. Kyle Eastman has kicked the goal, kicked the one-pointer that wins the match for St Helens.
Meanwhile, it was a very good Friday for the Rovers in the Hull derby.
You know, it's very emotional and passionate.
For the fans, it's great, and the atmosphere they create is pretty amazing, and it's always good to get a win over the rivals.
And Jake Webster will get the first try of the game.
It's always nice to beat the dirty side of the town, and you know, if that trend continues while I'm at the club, then I'll be extremely happy. I haven't been on the wrong side of the scoreline in the derby yet.
Cook shows and goes, and Cook is over for the try. They have won the Hull derby, and the Rovers fans will have bragging rights for another time.
If it had been close at the KC, it was even closer at the Willows, where Richie Myler steered Salford into an early lead against Warrington. But a late Ben Westwood try set up a grandstand finish. Unfortunately, the normally reliable Chris Hicks was left with Easter egg on his face.
So this to snatch the point. Chris Hicks to ball Warrington back level. Oh, he's missed it. Of all the kickers, he's put it wide. It's a win for Salford.
On a day of upsets, even the champions were humbled by the charging Bulls.
Last tackle here for Bradford, the back end of that penalty.
Keep it low. Oh, they've gone high.
They have gone high. Ryan Hall loses it, and this will be a try. This will be a try for Ricky Sharif. Well, Ricky Sharif started it all on his own line with a magnificent run. Has he finished it all with an important try? He has!
A rare Rhinos defeat, but surely they'd bounce back against Salford.
We were going to play Leeds, who had been beaten by Bradford in their local derby game. I think Leeds took us for granted to a certain extent. I think they felt they could just go through the motions and eventually they'd wear us down. And we came up with a fantastic victory, a tremendous victory. One I think was over 30 years since Salford had beaten Leeds at Headingley. And I still remember people after the game saying to me, that were like, I can die happily now. And I thought, oh, gosh, I didn't realise it meant that much to people. But, there's people just doing cartwheels. They're all over the place, so excited by a win, and because you just haven't seen it for a long time. So that was a tremendous weekend.
I think it was over the Easter period. We had a few bad results, and it was a little bit of a knock to the system to us. But then we had to come to Huddersfield, and we're putting a real good performance, and it sort of steered us on from there a bit.
This is a run from Ian Kirk for the Leeds Rhinos. He goes down on tackle number 4. Matt Diskin is the dummy half. There's a big hole for Brent Webb, and Brent Webb's over the line for the Leeds Rhinos. Go! Badiris, Burrow, Maguire. This is out one, fine senior, missed the tackle. Ryan Hall is in for Leeds. Champion stuff. Champion stuff from the champion team. Badiris, Burrow with a bit of time, so is Maguire, and he finds Sinfield, and Sinfield a brilliant offload to Danny Maguire, and Leeds will turn round with a 20-plus half-time lead. It's all gone sour for Nathan Brown in 40 minutes here. Wonderful run from Badiris, he's giving it to Brent Webb. Brent Webb will go over under the post, second try for the fullback. Could be game, set and match for the Leeds Rhinos here.
We've had 8 days of being miserable and walking around with our chins on the floor. But it don't do anybody any good, and we had to come here positive tonight. It's pretty much the same 17 that I played in all that 4 games, and they've come out tonight and nailed it.
Catalan also responded to some disappointing results with successive wins. After being handed victory by Harlequins, they beat Salford, but not before a classy comeback against Wigan.
Move! Wait, Andy. Go.
That's Green Shields. This is Guisset.
Just sheer power. And this Wigan outfit now are not moving up as a unit.
Move!
Some are just hanging back. They're looking as though they're a little bit tired.
Hold on, Mark.
Bentley to Bosk. Oh, an inventive kick. It's going to drop the Green Shields.
Move in. Move. 5.
Bosk again. Flicks it back to Greg Bird. And Bird gets it away brilliantly. Chance here. More than a chance. Try for Green Shields. Second try for Clint Green Shields.
Move. Stay back. Go.
Maguire once more. Great play. Great try from Wiles, who gets the second. Fed by Thomas Bosk. This time not with the boot, but with the hand. It isn't Christmas. It is Easter, and it has been a shocking Easter for Wigan.
We've been through the storm. Like six games, we didn't win. We just won 1 game. We just won 1 game, and you know, had 3 games at home, and it was very hard for the supporters. And we wanted to get a win for them, and we did it today again. And you know, that's 3 in a row, and now we try to kick from there.
It's good so far. I mean, but we're still only on 6 points, so we've got a lot of work to do, and. But it's looking a little bit better now than it was even a week ago, so a little bit rosier.
Warrington's revival in March had been all too brief. After their late hiccup at Salford, they were mauled by the Tigers in their own backyard. But a trip to fellow strugglers Bradford would again bring a little more hope.
This is the last one here for Bradford. High kick from Ben Jeffries. It's a tester, but it's very well taken by Paul Johnson. And Johnson gets the ball away to Riley, who is a flyer. And Riley backs himself, and he goes round Dave Halley. And if the bounce is kind for Riley, this will be a try. And the bounce is kind, and it is a try. And Riley, that's a magnificent effort from Chris Riley.
A 60 feet in 9 games had seen the Bulls plummet to 13th in the table. But those who stayed loyal were about to witness a truly memorable comeback.
Last one here. It's with Sykes. It's Jeffries. He'll slide the kick in. Warrington!
Oh, has he knocked on? Has he knocked on?
This is a major decision for Ian Smith.
Onside. Ground him.
Has he got it? Has he got it? That's try time. He's got it.
Second try for Warrington here if it's given. Bradford have only come over in their 10s, never mind their 100s. But they are dancing on the terraces here, and it is a massive win for the Bradford Bulls.
May began with a mass rugby league pilgrimage up to Bonnie, Scotland. All 14 Super League teams heading north for Murrayfield Magic.
Now Luke Dawn taking on the line, he's through the first man, and Luke Dawn has some pace.
The win's more important than who I'm playing, so I'll take 2 points against any team any day.
I thought we were very, very good offensive in the first half. I played with some great shape.
It's a great event. It's gone away the win next time much better.
To beat St Senna was good, but to beat them up there on such a big occasion, yeah, it was awesome. And you know, it's a day I'll remember for a long time, that one.
Today we let ourselves down in areas, and it's something we need to fix up if we want to push this year.
Was that a knock-on? No, according to the official.
Oh, we enjoyed it. We certainly didn't enjoy the result, but our performance was good. A couple of decisions didn't go our way.
We put in a good performance out there against Hull. We were pretty unlucky in the end to not come away with the points.
Chase has got away from it, and he's put it inside the front. Sherwin. And again, a second chance for the halfback. This is heading towards Dixon. Sensational score! Sensational score! Catalan struggling to cope with Buderis and Burrow, and they can't cope with Burrow's pace. He's in under the sticks.
We're in the winner's circle and keep ourselves afloat and get up there in the top 2.
Clear on the break for Rovers. Turns right inside a fabulous drop. Galea again. Will score under the post for Rovers. And Galea has been magnificent tonight.
I've just got to pinch myself and make sure I'm awake. It's really unbelievable.
Magic. Back to more traditional fare in Castleford, where monsoon conditions made the jungle seem more like a swamp on Derby Day. But it didn't dampen the spirits of those left singing in the rain.
Throw them about a soap. Well, the one saving grace is that this playing surface is probably the best in Super League.
It really is, but this is Burrow. And Burrow trying to go in between and trying to get up against.
I think we started slow against Leeds. They ran in 16 points in the first 10 minutes, which really cost us. But we showed real good spirit and we fought back real well.
I'm just making that point, Eddie. They've got to make sure you've got to frustrate the likes of. Oh, they come over the ladder. This could be the try.
Stuart Jones latches on to the mistake, and the referee gives the try. Well, it's going to be one of those nights, I think, like a ping-pong match.
Last move. Wait, Danny. Don't go early. Go.
Last tackle it is this for Castleford.
Kick is clear.
It goes off Sherwin. Oh, this one is coming out of there. He's made a mess of it, Brad. They made a mess of it. It's a try for Shenton. Shenton has got the try for Castleford.
Can he level it with this?
Dixon, the kicker. 2 from 3 tonight. 3 from 4 tonight. The scores are level again.
Come back from 16-0 down against the champions at the moment, I thought was a fantastic effort, and I think we probably were the better side on the night, but one that got away.
Buderis, Maguire bringing it back into centre field, chips it over the top. He's invited Jamie Jones Buchanan to go for it. He's lost it. Can't pick it up. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. Shenton picked that up in front of the stake, in front of the knock-on. It's a penalty, and Leeds will kick to win the match. This will be the last kick of the game. Castleford fans doing their best to put him off. Sinfield is safe as houses, and Leeds win it.
There was further drama at Wigan as Hull KR went top of the Super League table for the first time ever.
It'll pick up from dummy half. He's still going here, Fitzhenry. And the hooter sounds to end the half. Well, the referee said, play on. The referee's saying, play on, and Dobson scores. Well, here's a controversial moment, because the hooter had sounded and the tackle had been completed.
Nothing dubious about the next game, though, as man of the match Sean Briscoe staked a claim for the England fullback berth, with a brace of touchdowns to keep the pressure on table toppers St Helens. Elsewhere, the Celtic Crusaders produced one of the shocks of the season to secure a historic first Super League win. And a week later, the Welsh outfit would entertain Catalan in the first ever meeting between two non-English Super League sides, although at times the international flair was somewhat lacking.
Yes, mate.
There's a huge hole here for Cyril Gossard. Jerome Guisset put the ball down. That was a try that would have crowned his 100th appearance for this club. and Jerome Guisset knows that he has blown an absolutely perfect opportunity.
Go, okay.
Bosk and Gossard, good feet from him. He's got Bosk in support. Oh, he fooled Blackwood completely. Bosk is there, short ball to Perry, and Perry will go over under the sticks.
After the big weekend north of the border, back home Leeds star Keith Senior was celebrating his own landmark moment.
And here is Ryan Bailey. Bailey has missed the last two. There's a man who's returning to Leeds colours tonight. Diskin to Maguire, great ball! Senior on his 300th Leeds appearance! The evergreen man of the Super League! Here's Sinfield, now it's Peacock.
Jamie Peacock there, Eddie, has been flirting with front row and second row, and 66 minutes he hasn't been off yet.
Oh, wonderful ball from Maguire to Keith Senior, who gets his second try and probably at last puts Hull FC to bed.
I feel like I'm 21 at the moment, so I was all over the park trying to find that hat-trick, but it just weren't coming tonight.
You think you're enjoying a new lease of life?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm enjoying my rugby at the moment, and that's the most important thing. If you're enjoying it, then you know you keep going as long as you can.
The announcement that Sean Long would be leaving St Helens to join Hull FC for the 2010 campaign perhaps took many people by surprise. And if any black and white supporters harboured doubts about the deal, they were immediately given a tantalising glimpse of the future.
Long goes to the air. Oh, it's one of those awful bounces, and it's a try. It's a fantastic kick from Sean Long. You've got to say that's deliberate.
A fortnight later, Saints marched on to a record 16th successive away win. Quite an achievement for new coach Mick Potter.
It was a tough place to come and a tough job to take it. You know, people look at it like, you know, taking over a club like St Helens and, you know, you're automatically going to get success and stuff like that. But if that doesn't happen, people start pointing fingers at the coach. So it was a big challenge for Mick, and you know, as soon as he came in, he certainly stamped his foot down, made sure we knew where we were, and it was great to get that away record.
Scott Moore, Huddersfield are probing here with Mason. Moore again. Will scamper forward, Scott Moore. And he gets over the line with about a second or third effort.
Was he stopped? But was he stopped? That's what Richard Silver would want to do. He didn't shout held.
And I don't think the ball carrying arm touched the ground. Has Scott Moore celebrated his call up here to the England squad with a try? Looks like he has. The try is given to Scott Moore.
Wilson! Hold, go.
It's a wonderful run here from Danny Kerman. He's got Robinson in support. Oh! Should have passed. Briscoe just stood his ground. And I think actually Kerman was injured then as somebody came in over the top and just clattered into his back.
Either way, he should have passed that football.
Brown with a little kick through. David Hodgson, the ball beats him with the bounce. Inside it goes to Fantamino. Wild. Robinson gets the second try.
Hold, go. 3.
Fitzhenry for Rovers. Galea. Oh, great stuff. Wellham. More dummy half for Huddersfield. Oh, Mossop for Huddersfield. Tiptoe through the tulips. Lee Mossop.
Go.
Dobson and Jean stands and gets the ball away. Fisher sees an opening, and Fisher stabs it down the line for Wellham. Oh, hard luck. It was a great effort from Wellham.
The year before we lost 6 in a row in that time, and this year we didn't go too well either.
Oh, I just think, the Challenge Cup took a lot out of us. We honestly believe that we were a good chance of winning that, and it's like, losing the premiership. Everyone's a bit down in the dumps because, everyone feels that strongly about it. So, it's hard to pick yourself up after, such a tough loss like that.
This is Gaffer. He'll dab it through, and Randall's after this. It's a try for Randall. I think Phil Bentham might hand it upstairs, will he? No.
Go.
Randall gives it to Gale. Gale then looks for the runners on his inside, and Rovers hanging the back and not coming in to get the tackle in. It's Randall once again. Oh, it's easy for Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. Second try for Harlequins in the opening 10 minutes, and it's all gone very, very quiet here at Craven Park.
He's not impressed, Justin Morgan.
Go.
Here's Randall, short ball to Wells. He tried to spin away. Good job that Newton was there. This is a good passage of play from Williamson. He hands it on to Howell. There's Randall. They go wide, and Sharp is in. I think Will Sharp this will be given, providing he didn't collide with the flag over in the corner. I'm not so sure looking at his face. I'm not so sure looking at his body language. But
I think he's got it. He's got it. That is a fantastic effort.
Will Sharp now has got a smile on his face, and the try is given.
Everybody's bonding together. Probably just a little bit of inconsistency at home. I think we've really tried to work, on our away form from last year. It was pretty poor, and I think it's just getting the balance now, getting that consistency in performances, and hopefully that'll come, from now to the back end of the season.
Like Quins, Warrington were also threatening a late surge for the playoffs, thanks to the Anderson brothers.
Louis Anderson will score for Warrington. They were 8-0 down. They're now 10-8 up, and a kick to come. Clark once again. Bridge stabbed to the in goal, and Vinnie Anderson. This is Harrison.
They realise that Castleford are in the chase-up situation.
Okay, James.
Catch up. They've got to try something different. All Warrington have to do is keep doing that.
Good hands, great try. Vinnie Anderson behind the posts. Fantastic Warrington score that.
We're working really hard as a team, training's been really good, and we're just looking to improve each week, and we seem to be heading in the right direction anyway.
Well, you don't actually move any further up the table. You stay in 10th, I think, this evening, but you're closing the gap on that top 8, aren't you?
Yeah, and that's that was a big motivation for us tonight. Obviously, you can't let the teams in the top 8 get too far ahead of you, or it's got
like Cass.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a big 2 points for us.
Cyril Stackel's try, 30 seconds from time, saw Catalan snatch 2 big points from Leeds in the south of France. But the Rhinos proved quick learners, staging a giant recovery of their own to overturn a 12-0 deficit against Huddersfield.
Best loss was probably when we got beat by Leeds at Headingley, I think. The players actually come off that game and were disappointed, where in the past when we'd lost to St Helens and Leeds, the players sort of felt a bit satisfied, where that day they sort of thought, well, I think we might be able to beat these blokes if we do play well. But it was a game that we really challenged a very good side, and they had to play well to beat us.
But now everybody was catching the comeback bug. Wakefield levelled matters against the Quins in the final minute and left the outcome firmly at the feet of the place kicker.
Might well be the last play of the game. It's moving close to that point. Brough across the line, shuffles it away. They're going to keep pressing. And Griggs is over, and it's all square. How dramatic is this? So there's to win it. It's a simple equation. Danny Brough from the touchline. They love it. They absolutely love it. Wakefield have won.
Back-to-back wins for the Wildcats, something the Warriors fans imagined was a formality when they made their way to South Wales. Coach Brian Noble's position had already come under scrutiny, whilst further unwelcome press attention was focused on star forward Gareth Hock, banned for 2 years after failing a drugs test. 10-0 down on their next road trip, and with playmaker Tim Smith suffering a dislocated shoulder. Surely things could only get better. Cue the arrival of Sam Tomkins as the month of comebacks continued.
Brilliant run from Sam Tomkins. Oh, the pass though, well, it's found Carmont, and Carmont will get it down under pressure from Webster. Luluai has found Phelps. Here is Richards. Richards. Now then, does he get that down? Did he get that ball down? Thierry Alibert wisely hands this upstairs to video referee Ben Thaler to have a look at. Or did the fullback Briscoe do his job and get him over the whitewash?
The foot's okay.
This could be a remarkable...
The foot's okay. The foot's okay. It's down. That's try time. That is a remarkable score.
Ben Thaler's the man with the decision, and he says a try. Luluai. Back it comes to Tomkins. Then to O'Loughlin. Again, men on the overlap. O'Loughlin! Oh, brilliant ball! And Tomkins! Sam Tomkins with the try for Wigan. What a run from Pat Richards. Here goes Amos Roberts. Amos Roberts is through one. He has got Pat Richards. Here's the game for Wigan. Here's the game for Pat Richards and Wigan. Second try, he takes it underneath the sticks to add insult to injury. And Wigan will go home with a priceless win.
It has been a tough week, but you know, we've tried as hard as we could to just concentrate on the game, and you know, we didn't start too well today, but credit to the boys, we really stuck to our game plan, and it came good in the end.
It's been a very, very tough week for Wigan with what happened to Gareth Hoke and also the speculation about the coach's job. How's that affected the players?
I don't think it's affected us at all, to be honest. You know, it'd have been very easy for us to hang our hat on them excuses, but you know, we decided there's 10 games left in the season. We've got to turn it around, and we started today.
As summer arrived, the playoff race was hotting up, although the sunshine does funny things to some people.
Can he go? Can he go? He don't go that far on his holidays. He don't go that far on his holidays. Can he go? Can he go? He can! Try time! Get oxygen tank on!
No breathing apparatus required at Hull, just more records to be broken. A 500 Super League appearance made Keith Senior the centre of attention. And he soon proved that there was plenty of life in the old dog yet.
Are under pressure at 4.5 minutes of the match.
Keep an eye on Luluai.
They found Smith, they found Senior, they found Hall, who finds the first 4 points of the game. It just gets better and better for Ryan Hall. Senior gets the ball away at the back door to Sinfield. Ryan Hall, 19 for the season, Ryan Hall. Unstoppable down that left wing. Fantastic try again from Leeds. Here is Sinfield, here is Senior. 500th appearance and a try for Keith Senior to celebrate his 230th of his career.
When you get past that 30 brackets, people seem to think that it's time to hang your boots up. You know, I've been enjoying my rugby, and that's something that, you know, wherever that's happening, you keep performing week in, week out.
He knows what to do. He's very experienced in the game, really, and he basically does my job for me. He can tell me where to go, what to do. But obviously, working with him, I do get the sense of what he's trying to tell me without telling me it. So, but it's a good partnership we've got.
I think, you know, with having a young kid inside me, he's freshened me up a bit. You know, with his enthusiasm. You know, I've seen him nurture it. You know, seen him come through the ranks and nurture his game, and I take great pleasure in the fact that he's come on so well. But you know, he's put in a lot of hard work, and it's paid dividends for him at the end of the season.
There was more proof of Senior's staying power the following week, as he initiated another dramatic comeback in a sensational 2-minute finale.
Here is Senior. Senior makes the break. Burrow will score the try. It's not over yet.
I made a big mistake that game, and I put the loss solely down to myself because with literally a few minutes ago I turned to one of my best friends and I says, "We've got him," and I'll regret those words for as long as I live.
Is there a last little twist in this match? It has been a classic.
Well, Blaymire again is so deep. The chip over the top is definitely on for the likes of Maguire, but Laurentiis got it moving.
And here goes Senior. John Keir now will be biting the nails, the fingers will be twitching. This is Jamie Peacock trundling it forward, still for Leeds. Down he goes. They're 14 metres away from the Wakefield line, and we're inside the last minute. And the dab through for Ablett. It's come up for Ablett, and the pass inside. Wide they come to Maguire. He slips. It's gone to Donald. Oh, this is cruel. This is cruel. And John Keir holds his head in his hands. Leeds have pinched it. If the video referee says all okay on this, it is one of the biggest decisions of Richard Silverwood's video referee career. Scott Donald and Leeds think they have stolen this match. Wakefield have had their pockets picked.
And this is also cruel. This is sport at its best and at its worst, depending on who you support. And Donald has snatched this dramatic game for the Rhinos. Unbelievable.
The try is given by Richard Silverwood, and Wakefield's hearts are broken.
Warrington's match against Saints was a game of firsts. Brian Carney made his debut, and prop Gareth Carvell scored a try from inside his own half. You don't see that so often.
I thought we performed very well against the Saints, but again it's the old Saints who do they always come back to haunt us.
For a while, Saints seemed a little rattled. Their 8-year unbeaten record against Wolves in real jeopardy.
Roby and Eastman has seen a gap and has gone for it. He's got Wellens. Wellens responds from St Helens.
Move! Be careful.
Wellens through the gap. Eastman will go over for St Helens' next try. Here is Pulatuya. He's still going, Pulatuya. He thinks he thought about it. Graham to crash home. James Graham to possibly maintain this awful record for Warrington against Saints on this ground.
Relief for Saints following their Salford surrender.
Both sides had a number of players missing. I think St Helens had about 5 out, but I think we had 5 or 6 as well. And people made reference to that after the game, said, oh, you know, Kieran Cunningham didn't play and John Wilkin didn't play and, you know, Leon Price didn't play. And I can remember rattling off 6 or 7 names of ours and saying, well, they weren't available either. And you would consider them to be regular first-team players. And I thought that, again, we weren't given the accolades that we deserve for that victory.
Here's Tompkins. Great ball back on the inside from Tompkins. Oh, Palmont's pass to Lulawai.
Was knocked on.
Now then, it's a decision here for Ian Smith. Was he held off it? Was the ball grounded in the correct manner inside the dead ball line? There's all sorts of conundrums here for Ian Smith to check on.
And it all came about by a wonderful stroke of brilliance by Sam Tompkins.
And a touch of luck as it came off the knee, off the foot.
That's try time, no doubt about it.
So here they come, looking again. This is Coley now.
Oh, big hit by Burgess and Coley. This is really sparking up.
And Lulawai and Tompkins, great ball. Carmont.
He's had a fine game, hasn't he, the centre? George Carmont. He's created all sorts of problems for this Rhinos defence. And there's more to come.
To the ruck, and he does. Riddell and Tompkins. this has been the best that we've seen from Wigan so far this season. And here comes Richard. Richard has got support with him. Lulaway, Tompkins to close the game out. Tompkins will score. Leeds are left in disarray in his wake. And Sam Tompkins comes up with a fantastic winning try.
Sam the man for Wigan, but one of Saints' young guns would steal his thunder in the derby.
Go. Can St Helens make a late charge here and win the game?
You wouldn't bet against it, would you?
Cunningham, Eastman, Flannery. Wigan now go with what they've got for the last 4 minutes. That was their last substitution. It's Eastman. He spun away, Eastman. Eastman for St Helens. He's in. He's in.
It's a tough game. Wigan played really well. We just dug in there to the end and luckily we got a win.
You had the chances. Were you getting to the situation where you thought this isn't going to be our night?
No, not really. We knew if we stay in there right till the very end, you never know what can happen. And luckily enough, like I said, we won.
Kyle's been fantastic for the club this year. He's got electric pace. He's got that X factor, and he's still learning and improving the game. I'm sure he's still picking tips up off Longy, but he's a fantastic talent, and he's got the world at his feet. And if he applies himself well, which I know he does in training and off the field as well, he's fantastic. He can go all the way to the top.
Another youngster earning rave reviews was Huddersfield hooker Sean Lunt.
Sean Lunt's probably a real favourite for everyone involved in the club to come from was it Workington Town, I think they call it, and been playing for Division 2 and being a standout player for us in Super League. It was a really, really great effort by him. He's worked so hard on his game and he just enjoys playing. Every minute he comes to train or every minute he gets in the field, he feels privileged to be there, and so he's done really well for himself and he should be proud.
But perhaps nobody was prouder than Paul Cook when his tries secured a derby double for Rovers against his former club. August brought a return for Tony Smith to his old stomping ground, but it was a far from happy one. Winger Brian Carney breaking his arm in a tackle on Carl Ablett before Leeds broke Warrington's hearts with yet another dramatic score in the very last minute.
Diskin, Senior, Burrow, Rob Burrow! Held up by John Clark's tackle. Plays the ball, here is Maguire. Maguire, underneath the challenge of Cooper, takes it back wide, finds Lauatiti. Lauatiti will bring it back up the middle. Lauatiti for Leeds. Great defence from Warrington again.
Couldn't get the ball to where it would have been a try.
Diskin fires the pass. Sinfield out wide. Donald will go in the corner. Scott Donald. The level again. And it's the second try for Scott Donald. And Kevin Sinfield, who has not kicked well all night, 1 from 4, has a kick from the touchline to win the game for the Rhinos. This kick to win the match, and he's had a shocker with the boot. But all is forgiven now. Kevin Sinfield wins the match for the Rhinos, and Warrington, they must feel like they have been mugged.
Character amongst the boys is really good at the moment. To be able to come back, like you said, time and time again, is a really credit to ourselves, and we're just building towards the finals now.
The champions were in no mood to show mercy on their neighbours either. Ryan Hall helping himself to 5 of his side's 14 tries for a win that moved them level on points with table toppers St Helens.
Here's Lauatiti. Standing up tall and threatening the line. What an offload. Seeding gets it away. It's a carnival. A hat-trick for Hall, and Castleford are being absolutely mauled.
I've tried to forget about that one, so I don't know too much about it. I just remember doing a lot of kickoffs that game. That was up there with that was the worst performance of the year for us.
Yeah, we can move through that one quickly.
First, move, hold, goal.
You might remember that Bradford provided the opposition when Huddersfield made their bow in Super League in 1998 here. And Bradford won that night 38 points to 6. It really did ruin the party. And they might ruin the Wembley party here, because this is Nero now up that touchline. It's a great run from Chris Nero, halted by Robinson. But the momentum suddenly is with the Bradford Bulls. This is Deacon. Deacon with a chip over the top, looking for Sharif. He finds it. Great chip. Here is Langley, back it comes to Platt, spun then into the middle to Halley. Halley will feed it wide, they've got 3 against 1, and they're in for the try with Nero. But will they go back and look at a possible obstruction? No, they won't. Chris Nero, a fantastic Bradford try.
Hold, go.
This is Lynch. He's a man who must be knocking on the door for England as well, and he finds Deacon, and Deacon keeps it alive to Sykes. Sykes then finds Menzies. Menzies stopped the pass down, and Nero's over for his second.
Nero the hero, but there were a few hairy moments as the game drew to a close. Semi Tadulala getting to grips with Big Earl's extensions. Elsewhere, Michael Dobson was busy pulling the strings for Hull KR.
It's a measured kick by Dobson. Wonderful kick, knocked down by Cook, juggled by Fox, scored by Fox. All from the boots of Michael Dobson.
Like all the top teams in the top 8 at the moment, you need a good halfback if you're going to give yourselves a chance. And personally, I think he's probably the best in the business over here.
Just look what Justin Morgan's done with the team, and you know, it's testament to him and the coaching staff that we are where we are.
Rovers on the attack. Dobson, go downs. Webster, yes, Webster in for the try.
Saints are a tremendous side. You know, they've got talent all across the board, and you know, to beat them twice this year was a great achievement for us. And you know, that's 4 points has kept us in the top 4.
Good hands from Wigan, and on the half volley picked up by Richards, and Richards has got the legs on Mitchell, and he's got a beautiful ball in field to Carmont, who bustles his way over the line. Great Wigan try.
Move! Go.
Luluai, Carmont, Flanagan, impressed with this young man. Great ball, Carmont. Second try for George Carmont. What a pass from young Mark Flanagan.
Clearly Warrington had one eye on the Challenge Cup final later on in the month, but all eyes were on Wigan's Sam Tomkins, king of the jungle.
And Sam Tomkins will go all the way for Wigan, and will go over for the first try of the match.
After opening the score in the standoff was singled out for special attention, but he dusted himself down to complete an eye-catching hat-trick.
Move! Good, mate.
Sean O'Loughlin finds Sam Tomkins. Tomkins, brilliant try. Second try for Sam Tomkins.
Move! Hold, go.
Now it's with Gleeson. Long ball to Sam Tomkins. Another drop of the shoulder. Tomkins! Absolutely magnificent. Hat-trick for Sam Tomkins.
Drop goal.
Tomkins says, yes, we'll have that.
Well, is there anything he can't do at the moment?
Well, I'm a fan, and he knows I'm a fan, and those rough diamonds still need a little bit of polishing. He accepts that, but there's no doubt in his credentials and his talent. And you know, the most pleasing thing about him is his big size 10 staying firmly on the floor.
Dragging themselves off the floor were Bradford. A third successive victory was part of a desperate attempt to salvage something from their season, with a late dash for the playoffs. Level on points with 2 games to go. The clash between Saints and Leeds at Headingley would effectively determine the destination of the League Leaders' Shield and who would control the playoffs.
Graham will drive the ball in for St Helens, halted though by Jones Buchanan and Senior.
Well,
a lot of wrestling on the ground.
Not only that, that looks very, very, very much like a chicken wing tackle to me.
And Graham's in a lot of trouble here.
That's got to be a chicken wing. Look at that. I mean, Graham nearly has his shoulder pull out.
He's still out there though, Graham. Long picks that up off his toes. Here is Eastman, taken by Maguire.
Great work by the stand-up Danny Maguire. Realised there's going to be a dummy runner. He came in on the angle. Boy, these two sides are really up for this one. Not surprisingly, they are the 2 best in the side in the competition so far.
Well, they are by league standings, top and second. Great ball! Graham finds Gilmore, and Gilmore will go. No, yes he will. Yes he will. The momentum's taking him home, I think.
Time off. Move. Go.
Diskin quickly from dummy half. Finds Burrow. Burrow jinks inside them. Again, they keep him out.
Move. Go.
Ablett this time. Ablett's going himself. Plunks the ball down and has scored. Ablett.
Go.
Diskin scampering from dummy half. Finds Sinfield, who in turn finds Webb. Webb then gets it to Maguire and hauls over in the corner.
Move. Go.
Long, back the other way. Eastman again. Eastman has got Flannery with him. Flannery will get home for St Helens.
Move. Wait. Go.
Here's Lauatiti. The ball.
Play on.
Play on.
That's
Maybe.
play on.
Yes, it might be. Burrow.
That's great refereeing there by Bentham.
Here goes Senior. Now it's Ryan Hall who shoots his way over. Second try for Ryan Hall.
Move. Go.
A massive psychological boost to go into the playoffs as top dogs. But it didn't matter the last 2 years.
Move.
Leeds came up and took the grand final from second. Any one of the 8 this year is capable.
Move.
Oh, there's an incident. Now the judge says it's on. Someone got clattered. Now, was it a punch or did he just push? We'll soon find out. Yeah. Missed the first time and then got in number 2.
Graham is tackled by Jones Buchanan. And he gets up and he looks at the referee with arms akimbo. Here is Eastman wide to Wellens. Where the volley has dropped it. And with it, St Helens have dropped the League Leaders' Shield.
Take my hat off to Leeds for what they've done. It's a tremendous effort, especially after 2 real big years for them. You can't argue with that. They finished top. They're the best side. But as far as our games go against them, it's always going to be tough. There's that rivalry between us now. There's a lot of big games have been played between the 2 clubs, and we like getting stuck into each other.
James Graham has marched away from everything. I haven't seen him shake a hand yet.
When you put into the pressure point, you maybe do things that you wouldn't do in everyday walks of life. But yeah, that's the intensity of the game, and sometimes the game consumes you, and you're not acting like you normally would.
So all that remained was I's to be dotted and T's to be crossed at the Willows.
As a club, it's a great achievement for ourselves. We've done it since 2004. Saints have had that accolade for the last couple of years, so we're very happy that we got that accolade back.
Like Leeds, Warrington were already boasting silverware following their Challenge Cup exploits, but they came crashing down to earth with an almighty thud at Craven Park. Clint Newton all but ending their playoff hopes whilst giving Chris Riley one almighty headache.
This is Newton. And the run over Anderson and does a wonderful run from Clint Newton and a fabulous try from the second row.
Went backwards anyway.
Fitzhenry, Dobson, short ball, Newton, second try.
Go.
Here's Dobson, wide it goes. Here goes Colborn, so much support. This is Newton for the hat-trick. Clint Newton scores a hat-trick. Hull Kingston Rovers cling on to third place.
If someone would have said to me before a ball was kicked, oh, you just miss out on the 8, you'll see a marked improvement in your form, but you'll win the Challenge Cup. You know, I'd like to think the majority of the boys have said we'll take that, but we proved we can get out for one-off games. As I say, there's only 2 trophies on offer. We've got our hands on one, so we can't be overly critical of ourselves.
And certainly no criticism of his side's performance from Huddersfield coach Nathan Brown. The Giants making big strides this season.
Someone had said at the start of the year you can have a Challenge Cup final and finish third and then see what happens from there. We probably would have all said, well, that wouldn't be too bad, but we didn't have any great expectations. We just really strive for some consistency and improvement in each player and as a team, so I'd like to think that the players have worked hard and they got some rewards for their hard work.
The squad has done tremendously well. I think Nathan's definitely brought a sense of mateship amongst the group, and we enjoy playing with each other and working hard for each other.
And Wakefield, like Huddersfield, ended their league campaign on a high.
And Richard Moore plunges over.
It's been a reward for this group of players. It's about the 2009 group, and they've worked really hard. They've shown a great sense of unity, and I think it is the best Wakefield Trinity Wildcats team since Super League's been involved, and I think that's reflected in the position we've finished in the table 5th and the record number of points that we've posted at 32, so it's all credit to the players.
And it's a kick down the line and a chance here, and Aaron Murphy will score.
Neighbours Castleford warmed up for the playoffs by thrashing Harlequins. Joe Westerman bagging a hat-trick. But with Bradford providing the big finish to the season, only Catalan could deny the Bulls the final playoff berth. But they needed to win at St Helens. Surely not.
The interest that's gone down to the last week of the competition, I think the focus has been on the right end of the table. It hasn't been at the bottom part of the table, and I think that's where it should be.
Here's Mob. Support from Thomas Bosk. Greenshields chiming in from fullback. Pello on his outside. Greenshields by himself. Very good Catalan try.
Obviously, you're only just aware of the fact that Catalan have won at St Helens, which undoes all the fine work you've done here tonight.
Yeah, pretty shattering. The boys held on. It was a great run at the end of the year. We probably give too many games away during the season, so just pretty disappointing.
I mean, you look back and think, if only you could have. I mean, this is 5 in a row. If you'd had this sort of consistency.
I'm a bit rattled by that news, actually. Gee,
Catalan winning. Nobody saw that one coming.
Yeah, no, that's we did our best at the end, and good things for us for next year.
For now, it was all about the present, and with the end of the regular season, the annual Engage Dream Team lineup was announced. Champions Leeds boasted 4 players, but so too did Hull KR.
I think it's a credit to not only the 4 players that made it, but the coaching staff and the players at the Robins. It's been a very successful season for us, but without the whole team playing well, we never would have been in this position, to make the team. So, it's a great achievement for the club.
There was also a place for Wigan's 20-year-old superstar.
It's all gone a bit quick, really, from that game at Harlequins to getting in this team. But yeah, I was really surprised when I got told I was in it, but honoured at the same time.
No surprise in the selection of Huddersfield skipper Brett Hodgson, who was also named Man of Steel in his first Super League season.
I don't think any coach or any player at any other club would argue. I think he's clearly been the standout player in the game, and it's his contribution to our club is obviously very significant. So he's not only a good player, he's a good leader, and he challenges his teammates and holds them responsible and helps them hold themselves accountable. So from the coach's point of view, he's a blessing. I think the teammates would say the same about him.
Hodgson was also joined by teammate Scott Moore. while Saints centre Matt Gidley and Warrington's Adrian Morley completed the lineup for 2009. The season-ending playoffs heralded a new format for the ever-forward-thinking administrators. 8 teams taking part with second chances for all those in the top 4 and an opportunity for one to select their semi-final opponents. Hull KR's assignment was tough enough, but their hopes were dealt a massive blow when Chev Walker was stretchered off with a broken leg. Leeds then headed into the semi-finals with a helping hand from Ali Lawatiti.
What a ball from Ali Lawatiti.
Lawatiti way out on the left-hand side. He's certainly got the quality. It's a high one.
From
What's he taken out?
Claimed by Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall out to Keith Senior. Senior over the top to Lawatiti. Oh, super try. Maguire gets the ball away. Lawatiti. Well, that was just like picking an apple off a tree. Second try for Lawatiti. That could be the moment when Hull Kingston Rovers are broken finally.
Huddersfield's resistance lasted all of 2 minutes at Knowsley Road. Liam Fulton's gift gratefully received.
And as Tony Pugliatua got the legs, he might well have. He has. What a disaster that was for Liam Fulton.
But as the top 2 sailed through, the outsiders proved their playoff clinching victory against Saints was no fluke. Catalan were on a roll.
They're underneath the sticks are Catalan Dragons with Maguire and Bosk, and they're running it here. That's Mogg to Green Shields. They go wide. They're in this time, and it's Vincent Duport who will get the try. Maguire again looks to his left, flings the ball to Adam Mogg. Mogg with a dummy. Mogg with a great run. Mogg with a fantastic pass, and Herrera with a tremendous try. The Catalan Dragons open daylight between themselves and Wakefield. That was a super try. Great ball from Mogg to Green Shields. Great ball wide to Pello. They're in again. The Wakefield Trinity Wildcats flattened here in the first half. Goal. 11 metres away from the line. It's Mogg again. He fires the pass to Bosk. Bosk looks for the runner. Inevitably, it's Green Shields. And they get closer and closer to that Wakefield line. Dimitri Pello. Pello going on his own. He's backed himself. Dimitri Pello. He has got the try.
Yeah, it's on the whitewash and he'll give it.
It's the second try for Dimitri Pello. And it will be a long way back for Wakefield now. Last tackle here for Wigan. Sam Tompkins again, helps it on to Lulawai. He hoists the kick. This is for Richards to chase. No one better at doing that than Richards. The ball bounced back. Harrison Hansen thinks he scored. It certainly came backwards if it was Richards' hand.
Yeah, I'm with you. They got to give it. Nothing wrong with plonking down to the ball. This could be TRY. This is a controversial decision.
The try is given. Riddell to Lulawai. Another kick to the air, looking for Richards again. Finds Richards. Great pass. Great try, Carmont. Nothing wrong with that. That's a great ball. Roberts. Wigan could be on the way to Hull KR. Prescott gets to his feet, plays the ball here. This is Riddell, now it's Lulawai, quick hands. Phelps, Carmont, try for Wigan. Offside now, on their own line against Rovers.
Tap and charge. Where is he? Where's Palliasina? He's winding up. Here he comes. First gear.
Palliacina is waiting. Here he is. Bang, crash, wallop, try! Palliacina with the try for Wigan. Right under the sticks. And bang on cue from Steve-O.
Imagine stopping this guy coming into a nightclub at 4 o'clock in the morning. Bang!
There is Coley. Here is Lulawai. This now is O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin wide to Richards. Richards gets over. Such strength from Pat Richards. Wigan could be on the way to the next phase of the playoffs here. Well, they're a hardy bunch, the Catalan Dragon supporters. I think that those fellas, they are at every game that the Dragons take part in. And here they are now, just 2 weeks away from Old Trafford. Here is Mogg on the run, is Bale.
Good tackle by Robinson, had to be as well.
Maguire again, down that short side, wide they go. Pello to the in-goal area, He's
got it.
there.
He's scored.
Dimitri Pello scores that.
Brilliant play by the winger. And fully deserved. He knew there was nowhere to go, so he put boot to ball. There is a try. It needed something spectacular, and it has been provided by Dimitri Pello.
Bosk finds Greg Bird. It goes wide to Jean-Philippe Bale. Here is Greenshields. Now it's with Bird. Catalan looking to put this game to bed. Brilliant hands. Elima will score for the French. Kevin Walters' men are odds on now to be going through to the next phase, and they'll be involved in Club Call on Sunday. And I tell you what, nobody will want to play them. Nobody will want to play them in this mood.
I'm able to confirm that Leeds Rhinos' opponents here, Tedley Carnegie, on Friday night will be the Catalan Dragons.
The Leeds Rhinos will make it to the grand final for a sixth time if they win. And Kevin Sinfield knows the importance of the next 88 minutes. The match tonight has been dedicated to the memory of a legend of the Leeds club who died earlier this week. John Holmes and many of his former teammates are out there on the pitch tonight to pay their own tribute as well.
Holmes, not a bad one. It'll run, it's a good one. The strength of Holmes here, this sort of thing will be a benefit to his side.
Diskin once again, Sinfield, back it comes to Maguire, there's space here for Leeds, Maguire, great try. Ball in, out. This is Adam Mogg. Adam Mogg out wide they go, it is a try for Vincent Duport. They have hit back immediately. Burrow tormenting them, great ball over the top to Ryan Hall, who will not be stopped from that range. Super League's top try scorer this year. Look at that pass out wide to Scott Donald, and Scott Donald will hack it forward. Here is Maguire. Oh yes! What a try! What a try from Leeds! One end of the field to the other. A 100-metre try. Absolutely magnificent. Well, they pay good money to watch this, and that was out of the top draw.
A kick from Donald. I didn't know that winger had it in him. That could be classified as a try of the season.
The players are on the way. The atmosphere is electric. St Helens against Wigan, and Old Trafford is at stake.
Move, go.
Here is Eastman down the wing. Here is Eastman down the wing. Three have missed him. Nelly is there, and Nelly will go over for the first try for St Helens.
The light on the left.
And that's where they're going with Long. And wide they go to Melly. He's going to get in this time. Francis Melly. And look at the way they're swarming in the tackle here, not letting Wigan breach them. It'll take a special play, and Joel Tompkins might just come up with it. Great ball back to Carmont. He's got Richards. Richards down the line. Richards! It's come up for him. It's come up for him. Unbelievable.
Really, really proud of the players. They've given everything this year and shown what a top side they are. And on any other given day, they win this game. But it wasn't to be, but they kept in there, didn't they?
Brian, you've had to go through the playoffs with all the speculation about your future and what's going to happen to you. Can you tell us tonight what is going to happen?
Yeah, I'm not going to be at Wigan, which is disappointing for, from the play. I've not told the players. I've kept that away from them, but I've known for a week now. I met Ian Lenigan a week ago, and we agreed that perhaps a change was the best, and that's the way it's going to be.
I think we was always aware that they got opportunist sort of players with Tompkins playing the way he does and Luluai, and we're just happy to ride it out and very fortunate in some ways to get the result. But a great game tonight, and we're just pleased to be in the final.
It's the 12th Old Trafford Grand Final. It's Leeds 6th for St Helens. It's a new record, a 7th appearance here at this wonderful stadium. And out they come, and this is when the hairs on the back of the neck stand up, and this is when the shivers go down their backs. Top team, second team after the weekly rounds. It's the 9th time they've faced each other in playoffs. It's 4 wins apiece, and that's possibly a reason why we have a 0-0 scoreline after 13 minutes of the 2009 Grand Final. That ball has popped up for Eastman, and Eastman will go in for the first St Helens try. Kirk will play it here to Diskin. Now it's with Sinfield. Sinfield goes for the line. Just held up short on the last. And a chance here. He's gone for it himself, Matt Diskin, and I think he's got it down.
I do too.
Turn the ground in.
What a wonderful effort.
Hold, go. Diskin gets the ball away a little untidily to Rob Burrow. Burrow now straightens it up. That's the 4th. 14 metres away from the line or thereabouts. Leeds Rhinos, opening set of 6. And Kevin Sinfield with a drop goal. He makes it 9-8. Leeds hit the front for the first time. Peacock. Peacock the left, pumping towards the line again. Diskin scampers into dummy half once more. Will he do it again? No, it'll come back to Maguire. Maguire will stab the kick in. Lee Smith! Second try for Lee Smith. It is not given yet. Brian McClellan celebrating Lee Smith on his farewell appearance is buried under Leeds players, but we have not got the decision yet. It is such a big call. Steve Ganson's done right. Oh, he might be offside.
I think it's offside.
He's offside. It could be the biggest controversial moment of the year.
He's coming down to the sidelines, surely. It's for celebration.
Yes, he wants some of the champagne before it's sprayed all over the place. Last tackle.